I get to touch handbags all day long. That is magic.
All of us have a passion for what we do.
Our team is here to make sure that the item that you receive is authentic.
So we smell the bag, we touch the bag, we take a look at I get to touch handbags all day long.
It's a violation of the Fourth Amendment
All
to
of us have a
violate
passion
the Fourth Amendment.
for what we
You
do.
have to
Our
sign
team
in.
is
You
here
have
to
I
make
did sign
sure
in.
that the item that
Your
you
last name
receive
is not
is
Erie County.
authentic.
So we smell the
Show me
bag.
your ID.
I'm
if
here
it's
working
actually-
as Erie
If
County.
your
We
last
take a
name is
look
Erie
at-
County, then you could stay. Come on,
No,
let's go.
I'm not.
What's up, YouTube and CT3 fam? Welcome back to another video. I'm CT3, and today we're highlighting a clip from a citizen who was harassed, detained, and violated inside of a county building for not giving up his Fourth Amendment rights. During the clip, I'll interject with a few educational pointers to ensure your rights are not violated on your next encounter with the cop. And the clip we're highlighting today is from the YouTube channel, Auditing Erie County. Make sure you use the link in the description below for the full video. And while you're over there, show them some love, because without them, there's no CT3. Keep in mind, my goal is to make this an educational experience based on your civil rights, along with your rights to film in public. So if you could, go ahead and gently smash that like button for that reason alone. Now with that done, let's get right into it.
What time we got? Oop, 2 o'clock. We'll go to information.
You going everywhere?
Yeah, we're checking it out. The county building. I'm a journalist working on a story on the building and just taking a couple of video of the place and going to the clerks, filing some poll requests, and be on my way. Yeah. Take pictures.
Hey, Dan. Come here. Let me see some ID.
No, thank you, sir.
Your last name's Erie County?
That's what I signed in as. I'm
I
Erie
need
County.
your name or you can leave.
No, thank you, sir.
Yes, that's the rule.
It's a violation of the Fourth Amendment to violate the
not.
Fourth Amendment.
You have to sign in. You have to use your
I
correct
did
name.
sign in.
Your last name is not Erie County. And show me your ID.
I'm
If
here
it-
working as Erie
If
County.
your last name is Erie County, then you could stay. Come on,
No,
let's go.
I'm not leaving this. That's ridiculous. It would be a Fourth Amendment violation to ID me to come into a
Okay,
public
well,
building.
we'll go see my sheriff because that's his rules. So let's go. We got to go to the sheriff's office.
Tell him to come down
No,
here.
you're coming with me.
What did I do
You're
wrong?
coming with me.
Why am I coming
Because
with
I asked you to sign in. You didn't sign in.
I did sign in.
Your name is not Dan Erie County.
Sure it is. I'm
Come on.
here as Dan Erie County.
You
You can't
me see
prove
your
that I'm
ID.
not. You can't prove that I'm not.
Then let me see your ID.
You have no right to get my ID. You don't have a crime. You can't demand ID unless somebody commits a crime in this country. That's a Fourth Amendment violation.
I can ask you for your ID.
Oh, well, thanks for asking. No, thank you, though.
No, you're leaving.
I'm not leaving.
You're leaving.
Are you a sheriff?
Yes, I am.
Or are you a security working here?
I'm a sheriff.
What's your bearer's number?
Come on.
Is your camera on?
It is not. Let's go.
You turn your camera on.
Come on, let's go.
Go where?
I don't know,
Where are
whatever
we going?
he said, let's
Just
go.
because he said something, he doesn't have a lawful order of any sort to give me a lawful command at all.
You're not allowed in
he
the
signed
building.
I'm
in
allowed in the
I
building.
need him to sign his real name.
I
He
did
put
sign in the
Dan
building.
Erie County. Come on, let's go.
I'm here as Dan Erie County.
Well,
I'm not leaving.
then
You
let me see
get a
your ID.
supervisor down here. You don't get to get somebody's ID unless they commit a crime. You can't just demand ID.
I'm asking for your ID.
Well,
Give me your ID.
respectfully, I'm going to decline giving you ID
Okay,
because I
then
have
you
not
gotta
committed
leave.
a crime. I don't have to leave. This is public property.
You gotta leave.
This is public property. I'm not
gotta
leaving.
leave. You gotta leave.
The only way I'm leaving is if you threaten to arrest me. All right? Under threat of arrest, I will leave, and you will violate the First
you get that
Amendment
out of
and
my
the Fourth
face?
Amendment. I'm standing right where I was standing. You approached me, man.
Let's go.
If this is uncomfortable space for you, you can always back up.
Let's
You
go.
can too.
Just so you guys can see how close I am. I'm literally just as close to my face as he is to this camera, giving me a.
Come on.
You don't have a lawful command. Do you understand that? Get a supervisor.
Let's get out.
Get a supervisor.
Go sign in.
I did sign in.
You did not.
I did. Show me the law that says I have to sign in a public building and to go in public space. That is a Fourth Amendment violation of the Constitution. Don't you understand that? Did you not, as a sheriff, swear an oath to the Constitution to uphold the Constitution?
I
You
have no
can't
idea what
ID
you're
somebody.
talking about.
That's
Let's
that's
go.
the kind of shit we're talking about. This guy is a sheriff. He says he's a sheriff. He's got a badge over here, but he doesn't have no idea what the Constitution, the Fourth Amendment is.
We don't have time to do what
Come
you're
on, Dan.
doing.
Let's
No,
go.
no, I'm not
Let's go.
doing anything.
Let's
Do
go.
not
Let's
touch
go.
me. Do not touch me.
Let's go.
I'm not going anywhere until you get a supervisor down here.
Let's-
Get your hands off me, man.
No, let's
Get
go.
your cameras on. Get
Let's
your cameras
go.
on. I'm a free citizen. You don't have a right to do this.
Let's go.
You're gonna regret this.
Good.
Get a supervisor down here.
Let's go.
I'm in a public building. You have no lawful order. I've broke no law. You have no authority over a free moving citizen whatsoever. You have no authority to put your hands on somebody. You just committed a batter.
Good.
Good?
Arrest me.
Yeah, we know there's no accountability for the Blue Line Gang.
Let's go.
The only place I'm going is out of here in handcuffs because you guys have no lawful authority to trespass me from this building without committing a crime. I did sign into your sheet.
Not the right way.
Yeah, well, you can't prove that it's not the right way.
Why can't you just be reasonable here?
Why can't you be reasonable?
We are.
You
we're
put your
doing our
hands on
job.
me.
That's right, I did.
Wow, these two so-called cops are so ignorant that it's shameful. How dare this lady put her hands on a citizen and has no regard for repercussion. Also, there is no law requiring citizens to put their name on the sign-in sheet to enter a county building. At the most, it's a building policy, and we all know that policy is not law. Matter of fact, it should be a law against public servants creating policies to violate any of our constitutional.
So in Nazi Germany, they were IDing folks because they wanted to separate the Jewish people from the Germans. So they were illegally identifying people without a probable cause. So this country, our government said we're not like Nazi Germany. Therefore, in order for a law enforcer to ask for ID or demand ID from an American citizen, they have to have some type of thought process that you have committed a crime. Police officers just cannot go asking for ID from people for no reason. Suspicion is not even, if they think you're suspicious, that's not even a valid constitutional reason to ask for ID. They have to suspect you of a crime, and they have to articulate the crime, and they have to investigate the crime. And then after their investigation, if they think you are some type of way affiliated with the crime, then they can get ID from you legally, or you go to jail according to the law. But what separates the United States from other corrupt governments is that police officers are not allowed, or supposed to be not allowed, to be tyrants and just ask for ID from any citizen. By the way, we are private citizens, but in public, we are public citizens, okay? But what's concealed, so in public, what can be seen is not private. What is concealed is private. Okay? So if you're walking with a bottle in your hand that looks like a beer can or some type of alcohol beverage, they might be able to get that from you to decide if it's alcohol or not. Maybe wherever you're walking, it doesn't permit open alcohol beverages. You're in trouble because it's public and it can be seen. But if you have that bottle concealed and that cops are suspicious of what's in your shirt, they don't have the right to ask you what's in your shirt unless they suspect you of committing a crime that they have to articulate, and then investigate. That's the process.
Constitutional rights. This is clearly an uneducated department of the law, and so far these two sheriff deputies are the perfect example of what not to do if you're in any role of law enforcement. Let's continue.
You
We're
put your
doing our
hands on
job.
me.
That's right, I did.
You
We
put
are
your hands
doing-
on me.
So B Money, I don't know if you're aware and whoever else is listening that I'm a jack of all trades. And I do share information on your constitutional rights. And if you live in a self-defense country, if you live in a self-defense state, I also show information educating you on what self-defense is and what is not. So many people in self-defense states go to prison for years because they didn't understand what is self-defense and what is not.
Our job.
It is not your job to.
So we are far more than Kemet, Hebrew Israelites, Nation of Islam, and whatever wacky belief, or even the vaccine. We are far more. This channel is far more than any of those things. We touch on many things. Pure education over here.
To ID people illegally.
My job.
Did you
is
swear an oath
sit
to the
out
Constitution?
there And I did.
To uphold the Constitution.
That's right.
So my Fourth Amendment violation, you have no authority to ID me. Where's your supervisor? Someone who knows the law, because you guys are so ignorant of the law.
I'm getting a supervisor over here just for you, sir.
You guys are so
Can I
ignorant
see
of the
your
law.
ID?
You are not going to see my ID. I'm not giving up ID
I
unless you.
asked you to
What
sign
crime?
in.
What crime do you suspect
Well,
me
you
of?
lied. 'cause
What
your last
crime
name
did
is
you
not Erie
suspect me
County.
of? How do you know I'm not here working as Erie County?
I didn't.
What if
ask
that's a
who you're
DBA?
working for.
What if that's a
I'm
DBA?
looking for your name.
That's an official DBA, and
The
I'm here
sign-in
under the freedom of the
sheet-
press.
The sign-in sheet.
This is the freedom of the
the
press.
s- What press? Show me your press credentials.
What the First Amendment is the freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom
Yep,
of religion,
when you're-
and freedom of
when you're
what?
part
The
of
press.
You have to have credentials.
Bro,
Let me
who
see.
gives these
Let me
credentials?
see them.
You don't have. There's no such thing.
No such thing.
No such thing as press credentials.
Okay.
That would be a violation of the First Amendment.
So are you? What's your deal?
I'm here to document my experience. I told you, make some video recording
Do you know
inside the
what
building.
people think when you're around recording everything that you're going to
That I'm
come back
exercising
here?
my rights?
No, that you're going to come
That's what
back
they
here and
think.
cause problems.
Yeah. How many people come here and video record crimes that they're going to commit?
I don't know.
That'd be ridiculous, wouldn't it? The
We
video
live in-
recorded
we live in
crime.
crazy times now.
You don't know the Fourth
So
Amendment.
I want you to
and
go.
You call that
I
nonsense?
want you to go sign in for me now.
I did sign in.
You did
Where's
not.
the supervisor? I signed in. You know
You
I
did
signed in.
not.
Show me the law that says I have to sign in and give up my Fourth Amendment rights to come in a public building.
Because I told you to.
Where's the law? You don't have a lawful authority to tell me to leave this building. Don't you understand that?
I can tell you to leave
This
this
is
building.
public
it's a county.
property.
It's a county-owned building.
And who owns the county? Who does the county? Who owns this building? The
Do you
people.
own the county?
The people own the building.
Who are the people?
The people who sent me down here to come down here and check
What
this building
people?
out.
What people?
And to record everything?
What people?
Correct, because that's my constitutional right. First Amendment, freedom of the press, public space.
Why don't you get a
You
job?
guys are going to be educated.
You need to get a real job.
Yeah, say that again. Go ahead, say it again. That's a good thumbnail right there. You need to get a real job. You guys need to get a real job where you, like a police officer, and know the law is what you guys need to do. You guys
You
are
know the
enforcing
law?
feeling.
You know
I
the
know
law?
the law better than you do. You don't even know what the Fourth Amendment is. You just literally called the Fourth Amendment mumble bumble garbage. You don't even know what it is. How did you become a police officer? You know it takes 6 months to become a police officer and 2 years to become a barber? You're proving that fact right now. You guys are pignorant. That's a new term today for you guys is pignorant. You guys are being pignorant to the law. Absolutely pignorant. Where is this supervisor?
I don't know. We can go over to the sheriff's office and we'll get him over there. That's a public building. You're welcome over there.
Am I being detained right now?
No, you're not being detained.
All right, if I'm free to go then.
No, well, you're not going in this building.
Why am I not? I'm in this
Because I
building.
said so.
This is our
Because you didn't
job.
sign in.
I did sign in. You
You're
guys
dead.
put a sign-in
You don't,
sheet.
you're not listening.
You're gonna learn who Erie County is and the Erie County family is. Being pignorant like this used to.
Yeah.
You want to put your hands on a private citizen
I did.
in a public space doing no crime. You have no lawful authority to put your hands on somebody until they break a law. No law is broken here today.
you're breaking
What law
the
did I
law.
break?
Signing in.
What law is it to sign into a public building and give up your Fourth Amendment? What law is that? It doesn't exist. New York just got their public rights laws broken down by the Supreme Court for unconstitutional stuff, and you guys are following up on that, huh? You guys are ridiculous. Please do not impede my traffic. This is illegal detention.
Well, you've
Do you
creeped
understand
somebody
this?
out upstairs because they hit the panic alarm button.
Curse somebody out upstairs.
No, you creeped somebody out upstairs.
This is a First Amendment protected
is?
activity.
What is? Walking
Video
around?
recording in public.
Okay,
Being in
then
public
go
space.
outside because the people in here don't want you to.
You know what? It doesn't matter if they want me to or you want me to. I have a right to be here.
Well, you don't have a right
You guys
to
are
go
gonna make
past
prime time ignorant cops right here.
Mm-hmm.
What's your badge number? You
I thought
want
you knew everything.
you want to be a failure to ID too?
I thought you knew everything.
Well, you're a failure at ID. We've asked you for your name and you won't give it to us.
there. What is that? 21. This is an illegal detention. You guys are detaining me from traveling
you
freely
can
to
walk
a
that way.
perfectly public office over here.
Yep.
Do you have a reason
Where is
to
the
be
supervisor?
there?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
It's called freedom, baby. That's what America's all about, freedom.
You
I have
don't
to come
have a
down here
right-
due to the Freedom of Information Act, the FOIL.
don't have a
I have
right
the
to be
freedom to
there.
come down here and work on a story of the freedom of the press.
You don't have a right to be down there.
Says who?
You show us the right that you need to be down there.
Excuse me.
Nope.
You keep running into me,
You
sir.
just ran into me.
I'm trying to travel. You guys are trying to impede my travel.
Well, you're not going past here.
Would you guys put your body cameras on? I want your supervisors to see it firsthand what you guys do. Why do you guys not have your body cameras on? What are these things for? So you can violate people's rights without being on video? I've been video you guys violating my rights the whole time right now.
What right?
You're gonna learn though. You're gonna learn what rights. I love it, dude. You guys are gonna get it.
Is the sheriff over there?
Where is the sheriff and supervisor to come down here and educate you guys on the First Amendment of the Constitution?
I can't wait.
Look at these guys. This is what we pay for. We pay these guys to violate our rights and not know the law,
The cap.
and they think it's funny that they can just
Captain?
violate the law.
We're over here.
Captain, I need you to come educate your police officers. They're violating my civil rights over here.
Keeping your pearly whites pearly white isn't easy, especially when your husband is the god of wine.
I've done it again.
Look at him. He thinks it's funny, violating people's civil rights. Look at this guy's smile.
Oh, no, this
Oh,
is
you're gonna
Tyler.
regret this. You guys are gonna learn about the Constitution today.
Eric, we need your assistance here with this guy.
Are you a supervisor? Sure, what's up? These guys are violating my First Amendment rights and Fourth Amendment rights. They're impeding my traffic. They're causing illegal detention. They're refusing to put their body cameras on while they're violating my rights. I'm just trying to go to the county clerk's office and record my interactions, which is perfectly legal. You need to explain to them the freedom of the press, First Amendment in public places.
I worked on it in the passenger seat of the car. Honestly, for the most part, in on my live broadcast.
He put his hands on. Tell him he put his hands on me too illegally.
So what's your business then? Do you get to take care of it?
No, this guy put his hands on me. They won't let me go to the county clerk's office. I just want to go to the county clerk's, file some FOIL requests. He thinks he can get ID out of somebody without committing a crime. You can't. That's a Fourth Amendment violation. He literally said to me, he doesn't know what the Fourth Amendment is. He thinks it's nonsense. So this is not funny.
Do you have an appointment or what's?
I have no appointment. I'm coming through here, documenting my experience,
And all he wants
filing
to
some
do
FOIL requests, and I'm done with this illegal detention. You need to educate your deputies here.
So I send you in the right way. Something from there?
County clerk's office. Yeah, I'll go take a look at the county budget. You know, just exercising my constitutional
Merry
rights
Christmas,
to be in
Pete.
public.
Merry Christmas,
video
Mom.
record, and these guys are absolutely violating my civil rights
all
right
you gotta
now.
do is go back and sign your
So,
right name and show us
Thank
ID.
you for taking care of that. I'm just going to the county clerk's
Hold on.
office.
So but you got to sign in. That's their rule.
I did sign in.
Okay, but you didn't use your real name.
I did.
Show us
I'm
your
here
ID
under the
then.
freedom of press
Your Dan,
as
your
Dan
name's
of Erie County. That's the name of the press.
What's your last name?
You're not getting my last name. You guys don't get my last name. That's a violation
You're
of the
not
Fourth
coming
Amendment. Is that not a violation of the Fourth Amendment? Are you a captain?
Yeah, I'm gonna go see if they even know Dan from Erie County is coming today.
They don't know I'm coming.
And what would you need at the county clerk's office in Wyoming County if you're familiar?
I want to file this guy and this lady's. I want to file all their records. I want to file their.
You do across next door at the sheriff's office.
Well, I need to see the county budget as well. And am I being detained, sir?
No, but until you sign in, you can't.
Captain, am I being detained? Because these guys are detaining me right now.
You couldn't leave. You can go that way.
I'm going this way to the county clerk's office. This is illegal detention, Captain.
You're welcome to go that way.
It's still illegal detention. The captain, he needs he knows I'm right. He knows these guys are wrong. I don't know what he thinks he's gonna go in the clerk's office and ask them if I'm allowed in the public office. Are they out of their mind down here? Illegal detention. I'm gonna need some paperwork for this illegal detention too, so you guys better get ready to do some paperwork.
I just want to note that this is an awesome job at maintaining your composure and professionalism when doing these videos. Also, the captain just had a chance to show his knowledge of the law, but instead showed that ignorance spreads like wildfire.
Get ready to do some paperwork.
You're free to leave.
Oh, free to leave, free to stay.
That way.
Free to leave, free to go, free to stay. That's the way it works, guys. If I'm not being trespassed because I'm not doing anything illegal, you guys cannot impede my traffic.
Well, you didn't sign in.
I did sign in. Do you understand that?
No, you didn't.
I signed in. And you guys are gonna know very, very, very well. You, especially you. You are gonna know who I am very well by the time this is over, my friend. You too. You ignorant sons of bitches. This is what we pay for, guys. These are the sheriffs down here. They just think they can detain people willy-nilly, ID people on demand, to be inside of a public building.
What are you, one of these sovereign citizen types?
No, I don't have a badge like that. Those are the sovereign citizens. They can violate people's rights and get away with it and have these big stupid smiles on their faces and shit. Yeah, those are the real sovereign. Look at her. She knows that's a sovereign citizen shit. Look at that smile. She can't even hide it. That's real sovereign citizen shit right there. They got the Blue Line Gang Brotherhood going. They're counting on this captain to make a violation of my civil rights, but he knows I'm right. He knows he can't impede me. He knows he can't ID me to come into a public building without committing a crime. It is not a crime to not put your last name on that paper, especially if I'm down here as a company. First Amendment, freedom of the press.
Let me see your business ID.
You want my tax ID number?
I want your company.
What do you think you are, the federal government?
I want your company ID.
You don't
When
get
the
that.
press comes
You
in
don't
here-
get that. You
When
don't get
when
that.
the-
You don't
listen
get
to
it.
me. When the press comes in here, they provide press credentials. So when you,
Negative.
If you,
Not, who would give out press credentials? Answer me that. Who gives it out? What office in this
anybody
building?
that's ever come in here from the press provides us with their credentials.
They provide you a business card that they made up, and that's that.
No.
Where does an official press credential come from, Smarty? Wait till you see how dumb you look in this video, boy.
We're over here.
Are you a supervisor as well?
That's the sheriff right there.
That's sheriff?
Yeah.
Sheriff.
How are you, sir?
You're the sheriff of the county?
I am.
This deputy and that deputy is violating my civil rights. They are also put their hands on me and assaulted me or battered me unlawfully because they do not have a lawful command to tell me to turn my camera off in this public space. You know that as a sheriff. I'm here to document my experience, and these guys are stopping me, causing illegal detention on my rights.
Doesn't look like you're being detained to me.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Sheriff. Looks like I'm being detained out of the locked. I'm locked out of the county clerk's office. This is a county building.
Yeah, you can go that way.
Business hours are over?
You can go that way.
Is business hours over?
Where do you want to go?
I want to go to the county clerk's office. File some FOIL. Are you refusing me service, Sheriff?
The door's locked.
I had to pause it here for a second so y'all can take a look at this guy's dumb look on his face. The door's locked. Of course it's locked. Just look at it. This is the sheriff, guys. This is where they get it from. The door is locked because they just locked it because of the camera. Straight up. You are violating the First Amendment rights and refusing service down here. That's all I want to know. You say yes?
Why don't we get a hold of the clerk's office and see if they want to see you?
Do the clerks have a choice who they get to see and don't get to see?
So,
When did that law come into effect?
They're down there talking to her right now.
I understand, but why is this door locked, Sheriff?
It's locked.
Why?
So,
Sheriff, why is this door locked?
if they're gonna,
If they're going to allow public services to public, what is going on here? You guys are violating my rights.
there's no rights being violated.
There's no rights being violated? I can't go to the county clerk's office because of why?
I'm
Because
sure
of the
you'll be able
camera?
to get there at some point.
When you educate your officers about my First and Fourth Amendment rights, they think they can get ID out of me to come into a public building. Do you agree with that, Sheriff? Sheriff, do you have to show ID to get into this public building? Do you have to show your driver's license?
You have to write your name down.
I did write my name down there, who I am. So what is the problem? Do you have to show ID to get into this building? That would be a Fourth Amendment violation, correct, Sheriff?
A Fourth Amendment?
Fourth Amendment, unlawful search and seizure. You cannot demand ID unless you've been suspected of a crime. Reasonable, articulable suspicion, RAS. You know these things. You're a sheriff.
You're going to be going to, if you want to go to the clerk's office, they're trying to address that right now. Just be a little patient. That's all they're
A
asking.
little patient? I'm being detained out of the office right now.
Nobody's detaining you. You're going around.
So, what is your name, sir?
It's Gregory.
Greg, you're the sheriff of the county, but you're not willing to admit that it would be a Fourth Amendment violation for them to ID me to get in this building?
No, I'm not going to admit that.
That's perfectly legal here with you, huh? You're gonna eat those words, Sheriff.
This is one of the biggest failures I've seen in a while, and I watch clips all day, so that says a lot. The captain and the sheriff is a prime example of cops becoming a victim of their own ego. The lack of accountability and integrity is running wild through this department. I'm applaud at the blatant disrespect from the deputies, but more importantly, the sheriff. Like they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That's why I'm announcing with great pleasure that an update has been released and the sheriff has retired. Also, the failure of this department was featured on the local news. Thankfully, these tyrants were exposed to the taxpaying citizens for being terrible officers. Huge thanks to Auditor Erie County for standing up to the bullying and harassment you had to undergo. This video was almost an hour long, so please use the link in the description to watch the full video. It's well worth it. But overall, this department actions were disgusting, and I hope they learned their lesson the hard way. But that's going to do it for this video. Much love to Auditor Erie County. Again, make sure you use the links in the description below to show them some love, and also to finish watching this awesome video. If you're not already, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you won't miss the next episode. If you made it this far, thank you so much. You're the real CT3 fam. Remember, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. Until next time, peace.
We're giving away our $60 tactical backpack for free. You just pay the shipping. No hidden charges and
above me.
Okay. Is it an elected board?
This is not, we do not, at any point, we're not restricting the rights of a person to do that.
I sure hope not.
If you were, I'm not the person that determines anything that has a commercial impact. So, you know, do you benefit from the videos that you shoot? So you have a network and you're shooting these. Do you gain any commercial gain from doing that? Are you paid for what you do?
Am I paid
for the content that you?
Am I paid under contract, or what if I said I'm not required by law to answer any questions to a government official?
So should I be able to say, I'm not a government official, I am an employee of the public library, I'm not a government official.
A government
Is it okay
employee.
for me to say, I don't have to answer any of your questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you a U.S. citizen?
I absolutely am. And
Awesome.
why are you asking me that question?
Well, pretty simple. You have constitutional rights if you're a U.S. citizen, so you're not required to answer questions in this country. Just a heads up. It's called the Fifth Amendment. It's a constitutional right.
Well, actually, not in every circumstance. So I'm not going to get into all of that. I'm just...
There's a federal courthouse like 2 blocks away. You guys are going to get taken down to that federal courthouse, and you're going to get told by a judge.
You're filming me,
Yep.
an individual.
Yep. A public employee. Aren't you? You just said you are. You're wearing a name badge. You're sitting here on the desk at a public library.
What you're saying is that you don't have to answer any questions, but I do. But she does, but anybody else does. What you're saying is that any person can go into any space, any circumstance, and they can just do whatever they want to because...
I'm not doing whatever I want to. I mean...
should. And, you know, I don't know anything about your YouTube channel. I don't know if you derive financial benefit from that. But taking, you know, using public property as a backdrop for something that you're then using to make financial gain. So the library district does own the building. So we are a public institution, and that is owned by, it's owned by the city of St. Louis. It's owned by the people of St. Louis. It's not owned, it is not something that they're very careful about people taking public resources and then transferring those images and the investment that's made by the public in this and then turning around and making money.
Well, aren't I a member of the public?
I'm not saying, that isn't what I said. Dude, you're a member of the public, but if you're deriving some commercial benefit from it, I'm not the person that determines whether that is a legal application of it or not. That is something that has to be turned over to our marketing department, and they evaluate whether or not someone can do that. So like I said, if you're going to take...
Don't you think the legal department ought to be the one that determine that rather than the marketing department? I'm just thinking outside the box here.
We have lawyers, we have all those sorts of things.
You're going to need them.
I am not the person, what I keep trying to tell you is I'm not the person that's determining what the policy is. The policy is set by our board, and all I did was explain that policy to you.
Okay.
You're the one that refused to go through a simple process which is free to anybody in the public to do. You just simply refuse to do that.
Because it's a constitutional right.
Because you don't have, you don't feel like you should have permission to do anything, and you feel like you should have permission to do anything in any space, anything that you wanted to do because you were a citizen. So
is it illegal though?
Running
is it illegal?
Naked in Central Library.
Yeah. Well, that's illegal, and you get arrested for that. But if you're reporting on a news story,
in every circumstance, no. But what you're saying is you have the right to do that simply by being a citizen. You're saying that no laws and no rules apply to you. Which what are laws but rules? They're rules that are set down, decided upon.
Rules aren't laws. Rules are definitely not laws. Policies are not laws either. What I'm saying is that laws are rules. Laws say you can do this, you can't do that. There's a line that you cross at which it becomes this other thing. And I've told you several times now that the United States Constitution is the supreme law of the land. I am a journalist engaged in constitutionally protected activity. I'm reporting about public servants on public property performing a public service. And that's what I've tried to do from the beginning. There's time, manner, place restrictions to what I do. Time, it's business hours. Manner, I've been pretty polite. And place, I'm in a public library. And I've been nothing but polite to you. I mean, aside from trying to enforce an unlawful policy. I haven't tried to enforce anything. I just told you the process that we do, and you refuse to do that. Okay. So, are you the marketing woman? No.
No, I'm not. She's actually on the phone looking for you.
I told her I was in the Great Hall.
Yes, it went to voicemail. Shall I transfer her to you?
Yes. Hold on, my extension's 1203.
So check this out. You might find this interesting right here. So when black algae gets you fired from your job, it's ridiculous, man. So this dude, Kevin Muhammad, who came on my channel before, who was supposed to be a representative of the Nation of Islam, or at least a representative of the doctrine of the Nation of Islam. I made him look like a fool, okay? So he posted this. So far, so good. Let's keep the support going for our sister. This is a sister, I guess, with her kids. Okay, so justice for a cis passing. So now look at this. So we got to stop watering down shit. Justice as though something foul happened. A single mother of 3, her 2 boys are autistic, was fired from her job for saying she likes Kanye West. Now, listen, this is, don't forget, this is one side of a story. We don't know the actual facts because when this sounds like some indigenous black man shit. When you read into it, it'd be a whole different ballgame. Okay, so according to this post, she was just fired for just saying she likes Kanye. Okay, I mean, that just sounds far-fetched. A white male Jew was ear hustling her conversation with another customer, and after the customer left, he jumped in her face, bullied her, daring her to say she liked Ye again. Now, to me, that doesn't sound correct. It sounds like she was saying Ye was right about what he's saying about Jews. And he most likely approached her on that. He said, what? You said Kanye West said we right about Jews? And don't forget, Jews is the entire nation, community, race, however you want to describe them. When you say Jews, and you're not calling out names, you're talking about the entire populace of them. So he asked her, did she like Ye again? And she did, which I highly doubt. That was the argument. Most likely said, do you believe what Ye said was true? She probably said yes. He's starting off to get the manager. The manager suspended her for the day, and the next day fired her. We are charging Restaurant Depot Jetro with being anti-Black. Oh shit. Listen, anti-Black isn't, listen, and this is the problem with Kanye West. Black people don't have the right, and I had just responded to my post recently. Black people don't have the right to just say a bunch of bullshit about other people just because we were enslaved for 250 odd some years. Right? We don't get a pass. Anti-discrimination is for everybody. Okay? Bigotry is for everybody. It's not everybody but Black folks. We don't get a pass. Elijah Muhammad and these stupid niggas done lied to us.
Hello. Hello.
Want to, because it's. I can't stop you from calling the cops. I've told you how far I'm willing to go with this.
Do you have a card or something?
I gave him a card, and I honestly regret giving him that much because this policy is outrageous, to be quite honest. We live in the United States of America. All public employees need to respect the United States Constitution. There's also a Constitution of the state of Missouri as well, but I'm not going to get into that one.
Okay.
So I'm telling you right now that policy is in direct violation of several federal court cases. I know that for an absolute fact. I didn't come here wandering about. I came here looking for public policies and public employees that are a problem, and I found them. Okay. So I'm waiting for the marketing person, but if you guys have a person in the legal department, that might be a better bet.
Well,
so
just like, these people aren't going to fall out of the sky for you. You know what I'm saying? You want to ask questions, you want to inquire, you can make a call, and we could make an arrangement to sit down and talk so that they could run down on, paper instead of relying on my mind to dictate the policies. They can show you in writing, and
let's talk outside.
Let's talk outside. I've requested a supervisor.
It doesn't matter.
Sorry.
Maybe I should leave.
So what he's doing is what should have been done. Like these people with the camera, they're doing a good job because they're exposing tyrants in government, whether it's state or federal. Great job, kudos, yay. But where were these people at during Jim Crow? Right, because they're exposing that these government bullies, these people in law enforcement bullies, these people in state and federal bullies are denying constitutional protected activity for American citizens. Your constitutional rights afford you to do what they're doing in public accessible areas. Okay. Just because it doesn't feel right doesn't make it illegal. So just because a Black person was drinking out of a water fountain that said whites only, just because I made them feel a certain way doesn't make it illegal. You have a constitutional right to drink from all public water fountains. You hear what I said? Public water fountains. It's your constitutional right to take advantage of all of them. But where was these guys with the cameras during Jim Crow, during segregation, to expose how the government was full of shit way back then? So that'd be my only argument, is where were you during segregation? You dig? Niggas was compliant. Now, of course, these people were probably not alive, or if they were not old enough to do anything. So I'm speaking through them to their relatives or just white folks in general that was around at that time. Where was the effort to expose that the American government, state or federal, is on some tyrant shit? You dig? When they're just violating Black folks' constitutional rights, no cameras, no people, no expose, no documentary. It's only when they start depriving white Americans also. Now all of a sudden people walk around with cameras. You dig? Like I said, I love it. It's good because we have rights and we need to exercise them and they need to be protected. But where was this energy, and where is the energy when there's discrimination towards Black people exclusively? That's my only thing.
Are you officially trespassing me from the building?
If they ask you to leave and you leave.
What is your badge number? You haven't even told me your badge number. Do you realize
Sir.
how wrong you are right now?
Sir, if security asks you to leave, you refuse to leave, you can be locked up for trespassing.
I just need your badge number so you can officially trespass me. Go ahead and do it. Thurman.
Okay.
P.O. Thurman. Forney, is that how you pronounce it?
What's the problem here?
I don't know what's the problem. I came in here to video record a friggin' library, not to get accosted by all sorts of different
But you
employees.
don't have permission to do that, sir.
Huh?
You don't have permission to do that.
I don't have permission to video record a public library.
No, you don't.
And what is your badge number?
You can. That's with them, not me.
Okay.
If they said you're not allowed
Are
to do that.
you a City of St. Louis police officer?
Yes, but that's not relevant. If they said you can't do
It
that,
is.
then you're not
You're
allowed
giving.
to.
Am I allowed to ignore your orders then, since you said it's not relevant that you're a police officer?
They told you this is privately owned.
This is not a privately owned building, ma'am. I know full well it's not privately owned.
It's owned by the city.
Okay.
And the city has the right to refuse people recording
Okay,
in the
and
building.
who is in control of the city?
If they said there's no video and audio recording.
Now, I could just say she's flat out lying, but I really think she's just ignorant. Just like I believe Kyrie was ignorant. I don't believe Kanye West was ignorant. But I believe Nick Cannon, I believe Kyrie were ignorant. I don't believe they truly, I don't believe what's being tagged on them is true. I believe that Kyrie, just like Nick Cannon, sat down with a rabbi or somebody, a scholar of the Jewish community. I don't think Kyrie will be at least that vocal about certain things, his beliefs. Kanye West, different story. You dig? He's a lost cause. So this woman right here is more so probably like Kyrie and Nick Cannon, where she just don't know, or she's not aware of American citizens' constitutional rights. That's you'll see that a lot with these police officers. They just don't know, because they're just used to telling people what to do and people just do it. Like, so they become law.
Recording allowed it?
They become like the law officials in Egypt. I said so, so do it or die.
Then you're not allowed to.
Okay, are you going to give me your badge number? I've asked both of you for your badge numbers.
Property.
You need to give me your badge number.
need to get the property.
In order for me to file an official complaint, I've requested a supervisor several times. You both have ignored that.
We've asked you to leave,
Did
and you've
call the
ignored that,
supervisor?
so try that one.
Did you call the supervisor?
You've asked you to leave, and you're ignoring that.
You didn't ask me. Am
They've
I
asked you
being
several
officially
times.
trespassed by City of St.
Yes,
Louis?
you are.
Yes, you are. Okay, now Forney, what is your badge number?
1060. You need
Thank
to leave
you.
the building.
And what is your badge number?
I need you to leave.
What is your badge number?
Sir.
You are a
Asked you several
scumbag
times.
cop, dude. You really
Asked you
know
several
that. What's your
times.
badge
You need to
number?
leave.
You guys are going to
You'll be
get
placed under
sued.
arrest for
You're
trespassing.
not allowed to be recording in the building, so you...
I'm not allowed to be recording in the building. Ma'am, I am a journalist. This is a public building.
Did you ask permission?
I don't need a permission
Yes,
to
you
be
do.
a journalist. No,
Yes,
you
you
don't. No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't. Oh.
These cops are sadly mistaken, but they're talking like, so as you can see, what police officers do in America is they call the regular American citizen bluffs. They call you bluff. they don't believe, even though they know you might be on something, onto something, they don't believe you'll stand on it in the face of an arrest. So like this dog right here in front of you, this is what they would do to try to like say, I call you bluff, I think you'll fold. Because I'm staring at you, I'm talking tough, I'm talking loud, I'm threatening for you to get out. So you might think you'll get arrested, so you might back down.
Oh my God, you guys are terrible. You guys are terrible. You swore an oath to the United States
Are you going to
Constitution.
leave or are we going to make you leave?
He hasn't given me his badge number yet. Once he
Doesn't
gives me
matter.
my badge, once he gives me that badge
Sir,
number.
are you
and
gonna
I-
leave? Is this yes or no?
Badge number.
So that's no?
I just want a badge number and I'll leave. That's it. You're required by law to give me a badge
No, we're
number.
not, actually.
You're not?
Nope.
Oh.
Now, the cameraman from my studies is not correct. They're not required by law to give you his badge number. So the cameraman's like flawed. He might be calling their bluff on that. But that's a company policy within the police station. It's just a policy. It's not law. Like he won't be charged for not doing that. And he probably won't even be disciplined. Just a company policy.
You just walk around, face mask.
No, we're not required to give our badge numbers. Did you know that?
Apparently, you swore an oath to the United States Constitution. You didn't know that.
It's not required.
So,
That's my bad.
all right. Don't review my equipment. You need a warrant for it.
Do you have any ID?
They be arresting me.
I want to speak to an attorney.
Do you have any identification?
I didn't ask you any questions.
He's asking me.
That's for identification. That's not a.
But usually when they put see, these are not sovereign citizens, these are not Moors. Usually when they put handcuffs on them, they detain them, take them downtown, whatever. But charges are dropped normally and they end up suing the city and getting a quick bag. That's all that really happens. Or charges get dismissed, they don't sue the city, but this policy is definitely gone the next time you visit. So that's what happens. When they arrest a person, positivity changes come out. So that's the way the law works. You got to be arrested to make a change. Dr. King and all his guys were arrested to make a change. Rosa Parks was arrested to make a change. This is the process in America. You got to get arrested to make a change. So he got arrested. He may sue, he may not. But one thing's for sure is that when he gets out, when they drop all charges, that policy will be gone. He'll be able to freely access many things in that building, in that library.
Do you have any
That's not an
identification?
incriminating question.
I want to speak to an attorney.
Okay, that's cool.
Was I talking on mute all this time? I hope I wasn't. Anyway, what I was saying was, in order to make change in this country, unfortunately, you need to be arrested. Rosa Parks was arrested, Dr. King was arrested, and many other people. Okay, because you got to be arrested to challenge policies or corrupted laws. So, no. So when they get arrested, these auditors, when they get arrested, a couple of things happen. Normally, the charges are dropped, and they sue the city, and they get a quick bag. Other people don't sue the city. I don't know if they could or they can't. Don't know. I just know they didn't. But that policy that got them arrested, that's usually always gone by the next time they visit the facility where they were arrested at. Normally, and everybody's a little more nicer when he comes back. That's usually the case.
425. I'll be outside for further.
It's a one-stop shop. The Blendjet 2 portable blender is the perfect gift for everyone.
Yep. You grab my equipment.
Dispatcher on.
How long has he been inside?
20 minutes?
Okay.
30?
And we asked him several times to leave, correct?
Oh, yes.
And refused to leave?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
He's been inside.
Okay.
Give us his name.
He refused to give me his badge number. I asked for a badge number and told him I'd
We
leave.
asked him several times to walk outside.
Sir, can I ask why you didn't want to leave?
I'm a journalist reporting on a story about this building and these employees and the policies inside of it. I was very polite and cordial.
Okay.
I asked for a supervisor and I asked for his badge number,
Okay.
which he still hasn't given to me, or an ID number, because I don't.
His DSN is 5794.
Okay, thank you. That wasn't that
but
difficult.
let me ask you something. Even though this is considered a public library, were you asked to leave by some of the employees?
Define ask or order. Was
Oh,
I
did-
asked to leave? Yes, but I wasn't doing anything illegal. See, I wasn't breaking any laws, and I wasn't disturbing anybody here. I asked an employee about the age of the building and the architecture.
Right. And that made him ask you to leave? That
Yeah,
seems a little-
that started it.
Yeah.
I'm a journalist recording in the United States of America.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe let me ask to see. Let me talk to them, and I'll get right back to you.
Okay, thank
All right?
you. Can I point this direction? All right, you're gonna be a dick. You're a dumb motherfucker, dude. You're gonna get sued. You have no idea what's coming.
Was struck overnight by an unknown vehicle. What was it?
Now, he's not going to sue the cop.
I'm not gonna resist you, so don't worry about that, Craig.
A lot of cops got immunity, so he's not going to sue the cop. But he might definitely sue the state if charges are dropped and he's let go.
No one said he's going to resist.
Yeah, well, you're grabbing on me like you're wanting to throw me.
Grab on you because you're in custody.
Mm.
Can't have you walk freely.
Don't turn off my equipment, man. Not until your sergeant comes back out.
My camera's recording.
Okay, thank you. You're a good one, obviously.
Right now, we have to make sure you're not in weapons thing. How do you safely resist this?
Well, you're gonna have to uncuff me in order to get that off.
Huh?
You're
I'm gonna try to get it off. I want to
okay.
make sure that I have the safety.
There's a zipper under.
See the zippers, it's hard to get to.
Yeah, it's just hard to get to.
Huh?
I said it's hard to get to. Your hand's 2 inches from the zipper, but it's hard
We're not
to get
talking
to.
about the zipper.
Oh.
I'm talking about this entrapment right here.
Oh, well, you have to take it off. You have to uncuff me.
Right
Yeah, but you gotta uncuff me.
Huh?
You gotta
Yeah,
uncuff
we
me in
can
order to get
uncuff
it
you.
off.
We have to get weapons on.
Sir? They say that they have a policy where you can't film in there unless you get special permission.
Well, here's the thing. It's a public building open to the general public. I'm a journalist engaged in a constitutionally protected activity.
Well, that's
I was
why
very polite and nice. I'm not required to comply with a policy that runs in direct violation of the United States Constitution.
This is what I say when we do. So I say we release them all on summons. You're going to be given a summons. You won't be physically arrested.
Okay.
You're going to be issued a summons, and you can take your valid complaint that you think you have, and you show up in court. All right, we will show, but don't come back in here and do it again. If you come back and do it again, well, you have to give us your name. If you don't give us a name, then we have to.
Are you going to chastise this officer for being such an asshole?
No, I'm not, because
my
he's
name
doing.
is Kent Vogt. V-O-T-H.
Okay, well, wait, I don't have a pin. Have a seat on the wall. The officer's gonna run you, make sure you're not wanted, and we will give you a summons. What?
Damn.
What?
That's $500 worth of equipment.
There, just put it up
If it
there.
scratched that lens, you'll be getting a bill
Okay,
for
come
that.
on, sir, we don't need that. Just let us do it. Just have a seat, have a seat. Have a seat. Come,
Can
sir,
I sit or what?
Yeah,
He's not letting me sit.
Do you have ID on you?
He's not letting me sit.
Well, sir,
Am I
do
going to
you-
sit or what?
Do you have ID
Sir,
on
do
you?
you have ID?
Why do I need ID? I just told you my name.
Okay, well,
Verify who you are.
Okay, I don't have ID. Am I required to answer any more questions? You have got to be the dumbest cop I've encountered in the past year.
Sir, I
apologize
take
for
it
that.
down a little. Hey, Stein, do you have a computer up? Okay,
We
let
can
me.
take him to the
let me-
Justice Center and verify some information there.
Well,
Yeah.
if you want.
Yes.
He's
That's
dead
fine.
set on getting a
Well,
lawsuit.
no, I mean No, but most people when
I gotta go back and look at
most people
I'm
when
not
have
going to run from you.
Well, no, he wouldn't get very far either if he did.
No.
But listen, I mean, listen to me, sir. I believe that you're somewhat confrontational. I mean, when a policeman comes and says, "Sir, I need your name," because they got a call specifically on you, and you want to say, "Well, I'm not going to give you my name," and no, I don't have ID, and I'm not going to give you my name. How are we supposed to act?
That's not how it transpired when they walked up.
Okay.
I walked up, asked them their name and badge number. They wouldn't even give me either of those.
Well, their name's on there.
Yeah, I've seen that, but here's the thing. You're making an assumption that I can read. Not everybody can. I know that sounds silly, but I'm sure you guys have encountered enough people
You have
that...
a piece of paper I can write his name and all that on there, so we can find out who he is.
I'll give you my driver's license number. I'm not giving you my social, man.
Okay, I don't mind. What's your first name?
Kent, K-E.
For 1 second.
Don't even try it.
I used to be able to.
We all used to be able to do a lot of things, Mars.
Not anymore. He says he's from Illinois, and that's his Illinois driver's license number. He doesn't want to give you someone. That's it. He says it's not
Why did you just want to get a permit?
Would you ask for a permit to vote? Would you ask for a permit
That's what they give you a card for. That's your permission.
Oh, really? That's how it works. It didn't stem from the U.S. Constitution. You've got to be an ignorant cop. Seriously, 2 of you showed up at once. I've been looking for bad cops for like 3 months.
This is a public building, you're right.
It absolutely is a public building.
However, they do have rules inside here, and if one of the rules is you can't film inside there unless you have a permit or written permission, you have to abide by that. I mean, your credentials as a reporter or you work for some
I'm a
news
journalist.
agency or journalist, that doesn't supersede their rules.
The U.S. Constitution does, and the federal court cases that oversee what you guys just did do, and I know that for a fact walking in here. I came in here to get a report on a beautiful public building the taxpayers paid for.
Sir, and you have every right. If you feel you're being harassed and unjustly arrested or cited, then you, by all means, you can go to Internal Affairs and you can speak to the Internal Affairs. By all means, that's why it's there. And our address at police headquarters is at 1915 Olive?
I'm headed there next.
Okay. By all means. The
I mean,
officer-
if you release me, if not, I'll have to wait for bond. You guys are gonna have to process me.
Sound like you've done this before.
The first time I went out to do this, I went out looking for dirty cops, and I got methamphetamines planted on me. So you bumped into one today. I'm telling you right now, Forney, you're a joke. You're
Sir,
a bad joke.
sir.
She is. She's absolutely. She
Why?
sat
What
there
has she done? What has she done that you would feel that you'd have to call her a joke? What has she done?
Violated her constitutional oath for starters.
no, she
Yes, she did.
hasn't.
Yes, she has. Yes, she absolutely has.
No. Not at all. You must be sorely mistaken when you know what constitutional rights
Oh,
What city
man.
are you from, Mr. Boss?
What's that?
They're farmers. They're
Did you
farmers.
just give him my information and my driver's license number and all that? You just gave him my private information. That
That's
is
a security
absolutely.
guard.
No,
Yes.
guys, you guys have screwed up big time. I saw it. The camera's on. It caught
That's
it.
fine,
They're not allowed to
sir.
have that information.
No, no, they're
Banned you from the
not.
building, so you're not allowed to come back in here ever again.
No. And what's your name, Sergeant?
16, Sergeant Marks, Michael.
Marks.
Marks.
Okay. And what's your badge? Or ID?
$27.95.
Thank you.
The fancy dude.
I got y'all next time.
Gotcha.
time on, but we've also recycled a lot of numbers. So
Okay,
it's
okay.
fine. It's-
That's why I
it's-
asked.
It's a general guideline when it comes to that.
Solomon, make sure, walk over there and give him his information. We need your address for the summons. We're not going to book you. We're going to release you on a summons.
Okay.
Oh, do you tell Solomon that all the information is on the computer in his car?
You get these suckers
hold
off?
on, we will.
All right.
When we have you sign your summons, that was safe. Oh, yeah. something down there with the property. And go down to self-control and do bulk property for a night watch guy. Okay, so the deal is you're gonna be getting a summons.
Okay.
Don't bring your audio visual equipment in there unless you get you have to apply for a permit to film in here. And they do that for various reasons, that was explained to me. So it's a public building. They're not saying you can't come in there. What they're saying is that you can't film in there without acquiring with a specific permit.
Can I play devil's advocate with you? I understand what you're telling me.
Yes, sir.
You guys are cops. How many times have you called the drug house and gave them a heads up before you raided the house?
How many times have we?
Yeah.
Never.
Never. And I never will ask for permission to catch corrupt public officials.
Oh, makes sense.
Yep. Because if you call and give them a heads up, they'll know.
Listen, what corrupt public officials were you trying to catch in the library?
The policy itself and the
What
employees.
policy?
The policy that states I have to give away my First Amendment right in order to request permission to film in a public building. Okay, now I understand I can't record in a courthouse because that's a judge's order, okay? But that is 100% accessible to the general public, and that permit
So
is
the
unlawful.
So is the courthouse.
Yeah.
Anyone can walk in a courthouse.
Yeah, but I just said the
But you have
judge's
to-
order. Judge's order.
Yep.
And I don't generally butt heads with judges.
Chapo, what's up? So what was your passcode? That's So how many were in there? How many did you have to level up? All right, goodbye. You have a key.
For what?
How long have you been an officer?
35 years.
Getting near retirement?
Yeah, like 9 months.
I was getting ready to say. Your experience shows. Hopefully you rub off on the other people.
Well, they're doing their job, brother. I mean, I don't see where anyone did anything wrong. No one was belligerent to you.
And I wasn't belligerent to anybody
no one
in
said
there.
they weren't. No one said you were. You were being difficult, though. When an officer asks you for your name, and you tell him, "I'm not giving you my name."
Well, that's another thing. That's called the Fourth Amendment.
No, that's false. Again, our government is supposed to protect us from tyrannical governments, i.e. Nazi Germany. Our government is not supposed to allow anybody just to ask you for your ID. We are private citizens. Our privacy is respected. It's supposed to be respected. You don't have the right to know who we are during our daily activities. Now, we want to access something, a website, a bank account, things like that, then we have to forego our identity because now we want something, right? That's not a right. You don't have a right to a bank account. Okay, so you don't have a right to register here or there. But if it's open to the public and every American citizen, then you could take advantage of it, not a right. Now, when you register for those things, yes, your identity is going to be demanded. Motor vehicle, if you want to register your car, if you want to get a driver's license, you want to get insurance, these are not rights. These are privileges. So if you want to do that, yes, you got to forego your name and your identity. But nobody has a right when you're in the public or public. This dry cough loves to hit me late. This is crazy. But anyway, public accessible spaces and public buildings. They don't have the right to just ID.
You're an idiot, full-blown idiot. Seriously.
We don't need talk like that.
Here's the thing: the Fourth Amendment right.
We can still take you to jail, so you can check it out now.
Just
Hey,
I Corny, well, I got him. There's no.
Don't worry.
Just,
I'll
sir,
make sure the public knows about you.
Sir.
Is you going to consider that a threat? Jesus.
Here, I got him. Just don't let him antagonize you. Here's your camera so nothing happens.
He's nice, man. I'm trying to get Hebrews on here, but Hebrews, you know what's funny? They talk loud and brave on the microphone and with speakers. They talk loud and brave, with, you know, on their lives, because they're not gonna let you talk. But when you invite them to a dialogue over their own doctrine, the doctrine they preach that you must believe or for salvation or you're damned to eternal hell, that same doctrine, they're not willing to debate. These are cowards. Now they were all for the smoke before YouTube. No. They were all, yeah, you could say that, but really, they were all for the smoke before Google and Ask Jeeves. Once Ask Jeeves and Google start popping and flourish, Nation Islam, none of these pseudo organizations want smoke. Now that Google's here and Wikipedia was icing on the cake.
Well, I mean, people are allowed in the building. How are y'all doing? I'm Marianne. I'm the director of the building. Okay. Well, I mean, people are allowed in the building.
Yeah, that's what we explained, Bill.
Yeah. And he's allowed to do casual amateur photography, filming, etc. When it gets to be a problem is when you're filming customers without their permission.
They said something that he needed.
That's also a lie too.
Well, that's when you're doing any kind of professional, media-related filming.
Okay.
You need prior written permission. Yes, please.
What? We don't have it. Tell them to fill it out without it.
But if it's just casual amateur photography and filming, we don't necessarily need permission unless there's people involved that are not staff.
What that line is saying, talking about.
So I just got put in handcuffs for nothing.
I'm just making the distinction because they might not know it either,
Okay.
sir.
Well, probably should have figured that all out before the cops went on. I am an independent journalist.
Okay.
And that I do believe falls under amateur photography. And I will be publishing the video out of this. That was completely unacceptable. All I did was walk up to one employee and ask them when the building was built. I said, the beautiful building. I love the architecture on the main room. I'm sure you've heard that a million times. I walked over, I got a pan shot of the ceiling, and then I went to walk downstairs to see what else you guys had here, because that first part is gorgeous. So that's obviously going to lead me to walk elsewhere.
Of course.
And that's when the public safety officers, if you want to call them that, took issue with my camera and took me back upstairs. Then your employee up there gave me some big long spiel where he tripped over his words repeatedly, ignored everything I said. And by the way, I was being very nice, polite, and cordial. You're going to be able to see how I behaved. I was very nice, polite, and cordial. And then they decided to call police. And the police came here. This sergeant knows his job. The two first responding officers refused to give me their name or badge number. So what am I supposed to do? You know, I see it says St. Louis Police on it. I get that. You're a public library.
Can see my badge that says Marianne Brickey Public Library.
Nice to meet you. My name is Kent Voth. But yeah, and
So
I got
think
put in
probably
handcuffs for that.
I do apologize for my staff if he seemed discombobulated. I think we're just not used to being filmed, and it probably just took him aback. But absolutely amateur photography,
I'll let you know. Had they been nice and just left me alone or not said a word to me, I would have walked through the building and been on to my next one. So now the next building I'm going to is your police department. I walked through your entire city hall this morning. All of it. I found nothing but well-trained public employees, without a doubt. Every single one I encountered. And then Forney here, and whatever his name, shows up and drops the ball big time. So, yeah. I go around and test public employees. You're awesome, by the way.
Well,
that one, no.
I would also just
and that's
say
not your
all public employees
responsibility.
have a different job description. So
You might want to, you're going to have some extra visitors.
Sign here, then you're free to leave.
All right, you're going to have some extra visitors over the next few months, just a heads up.
Just sign here.
So now, for the people listening, this is the constitutional protected right. But you see, it really pisses people off, definitely white people. And so does anti-Semitism. Okay. So instead of clowns like the Hebrew Israelites, the Nation of Islam, and the Moors, people like that, that are anti-Semitic, anti-white, whatever, and do it the wrong way, why not do it the right way? There's a right way to do things and still get the same reaction, but none of the public press. Because you want to talk about what's hidden, what's not popular, is your constitutional rights. Like, you can do a lot more things than you believe. Like, for example, the way they're recording everywhere in these public accessible buildings and areas, you would never believe you can do that. Bring your camera and start recording or taking pictures. You will believe that's illegal because there's signs in these facilities that says no recording. Now, these are signs, these no recording signs are no different than the signs in segregation, during segregation, that said whites only. When you read a sign at motor vehicles or anywhere that says no recording, those signs are just as illegal as the signs during Jim Crow segregation that said no blacks allowed. Those are not constitutional signs, either one. Okay? So my thing is, if the Nation of Islam, the Hebrew Israelites, if they really want to get back at America and piss them off legally in a righteous way, this is one of the ways to do it. Some of these brothers go into police stations, they piss off police officers in a righteous way where they can't do anything about it. A few of these guys got arrested and they came out with lawsuits. A bag. The goal is to get arrested because you're being arrested against your constitutional rights. The whole civil rights movement was to guarantee protection of these rights. So these are civil rights violations. So these cities be copping pleas ASAP. They don't want this to hit the news and shit like that. You violate somebody's civil rights. They cop pleas ASAP. They settle out quick. And then they take the signs down. So not only do you get paid, and then those illegal signs, no blacks allowed, whites only, no cameras, they get taken down. Check Texas out.
Oh, I'll put in whatever direction I want. You're making a scene, right? You're making your own wife uncomfortable.
You need to leave.
Why?
Because you're sitting there and that's a locked door for employees and you're putting...
Am I going behind the locked door for employees? It's not going to enforce your feelings here today. Hey, what's up, guys?
This guy is one of the better auditors. Like, he's the one of the most professional. And look, he got a check mark. He got a check mark simply for doing this, nothing else.
Guys, Long Island audit here.
So you got to check. So this is how you get back in business. Disingenuous, dumbass black man that just spew a whole bunch of anti-racist, anti-Semitic, stupid shit, homophobic stuff. If you want to piss people off, you do it in a way where they got to take it. And you're inspiring other people to follow suit. That's why, like, you don't get no press for this right here. They don't want to encourage all Americans doing this or something similar. And another thing, forget about the camera. How about requesting your ID? That's happening too much in these public buildings. They're asking for your ID illegally, and they're probably selling your information. They're probably selling your information. So you don't have to, anywhere public, you don't have to sign in ever. You could put a fake name, but using your ID to sign in is illegal always. Using your ID to sign in public places, public spaces is always illegal. I'm not talking about private companies like Verizon. I'm talking about Verizon, where I ain't talking about Verizon, I'm talking about regular public government facilities, government ran facilities. Your ID that you're voluntarily giving to them is probably sold somewhere. It's added to your phone calls.
Back again with another video. Today we're at the Division of Motor Vehicles here in Dover, Delaware. We are here today, as always, to peacefully exercise our First Amendment.
But I gotta lastly say this: a stupid nigga wouldn't want to watch this. We want to talk about freedom, liberation, all the stupid black liberation, all this stupid goofy shit. A stupid nigga, this is boring. This right here, what I'm showing you, it directly affects your life. But a stupid nigga will go watch something that's so far. Okay, let's say Bill Gates was killing motherfuckers. That is so far-fetched from your life. You as an individual, that is so far-fetched from you. It does not directly affect you. This shit I'm showing you directly affects you. You take your stupid ass to a public government ran facility, watch how you get bullied and disrespected by the employees and the police officers.
Right to film in public and publicly accessible areas, to promote transparency and accountability within our government, and to ensure that our public servants respect our rights and treat us with respect. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so we're just getting inside of the DMV here in Dover, Delaware. Let's take a look around. There goes our friendly reminder that they're always recording us, even though it always seems to be an issue when we record them. Alright, so we're on the second floor here. Let's take a look around. Oh, excuse me?
What's going on?
What do you mean?
What are you doing?
Well, I'm just taking some pictures of the video. Who are you? Who are you?
I work for Capital Police Department.
You work for who?
Capital Police Department. What's the purpose of
And your name and badge number?
Okay. All right.
So I'm supposed to answer your questions, you don't answer mine? That's how it works?
Have a good day.
That's a very professional way to represent the Capitol Police Department.
Have a good day, sir.
Very, very professional. I'm not answering any more questions anymore. Just ask for his name and his badge number.
You do? Okay. All right.
So this is the office for uninsured motorists here. Interesting.
Are you guys together? No. Okay. How can I help you?
Yes.
Do you need help up here?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
A lot of us either don't know the law or we don't really.
There are a ton of products to help you sleep on the market, whether it's to help you fall asleep, stay asleep. But the one thing that they don't address is what happens when you wake up. What if you have anxiety? What if you have troubles focusing? Well, I'll tell you what, when we got together and we formulated Ambrosia Ritual PM, we didn't just think about.
Please don't record me.
Oh, I'm not trying to record you. That's not my intent.
Are you more sincere neighbor?
I'm sorry, ma'am. Who are you?
You just recorded me. Why do you do that?
No, I'm not recording you. You just happen to be here. I'm recording the department here.
But I don't want that. I don't want to be recorded.
So you're in public. I'm not trying to record you though.
But I want my privacy.
Don't worry, we've called.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to record you, but you're in public. There's cameras all over the building, you know?
Here's another thing. There's no expectancy of privacy in public. So if you're trying to be private in public, that's an oxymoron. Public is public. Private is private. So when you, for example, if you go to a basketball game, soccer game, football game, tennis match, and people bring their phones out, you're in public. And you, as a fan, but what's a better word? You watching a game in the stands, you can't tell somebody to put their phone away or their camcorder away or whatever recording device, iPad, whatever they got recording the game. So just imagine you're watching a football game, your son's playing, his son is playing, his son is playing. You don't have the right as a parent to say, don't record my son play football. It's respect his privacy. Like, that's how of a fool they sound right now. That's called public. You're in a public place playing a game. Other parents got the right to record the entire game, not just their kid, the entire game. And this facility right here, the whole facility is public. Now, there are private places in the facility that you can't go in and record, and they don't do it. But if they open a door and you can see inside from the door, you can't trespass somebody's eyes. You can't say, close your eyes. So if they leave the door open, it's their duty to keep it private by keeping the doors closed or documents sealed. If they leave documents out, now it's in public, you can't take pictures and record. So it's not on you to make it private, it's on them.
No, I'm not intentionally trying to record you.
Did you come up here because you needed help with something?
Who, me? Oh, no. I don't need help with anything here.
Okay. So you are.
I'm just taking some pictures and video. Who are you? Who are you? So if you're not going to answer my questions, I'm not going to answer yours. That's rude, right?
Well, people usually come up here when they, have some DMV business to do. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Are they coming out now? Sir, that is, you need to leave.
Why?
Because you're sitting there and that's a locked door for employees and you're putting.
Am I going behind the locked door for employees?
Need help with something?
Don't say anything to him. Don't say anything to him.
Don't say anything to me, right? Just like you didn't. Yeah, he's not gonna enforce your feelings here today. Sorry for you.
Act like he's not even here. Just don't even entertain.
He's putting the camera to.
There's nothing illegal about that.
Oh, you need motor carrier.
Act like he's not even here. That's all. Just
Let me get your name and badge number, sir, please.
walk away from him.
There you go. You learned something here today, ma'am. Can I get your name and badge number, sir? No?
So, and this is when police officers become emotional. Like, so these police officers get mad because you exercise your rights. So therefore, they don't want to comply to their own policies. This is what the Hebrew Israelites should be. This is more time worthy. Nation Islam and all these other goofy black religious groups, they're better off doing something like this, where the law is actually with you. So when people get mad, that's just their personal feelings. If Kyrie supported this, done it himself, he would get less, like the narrative would change. They would say he's just bored and childish. It wouldn't be anti-Semitic or homophobic, nothing crazy.
I think you're being very unprofessional and rude, sir. Is this your attempt at bridging the gap between the public and law enforcement? Would your supervisor, would your chief, would they be proud of you how you're acting here today?
Absolutely.
They would?
Absolutely.
We'll find out.
Okay.
We'll find out. It's not your policy to identify yourself to members of the public? Okay. Anyway, so the woman inside, she got her education. Just ignore him. Yeah, I mean, you could do that, or you could just ignore me. You could do that, or here's another pro tip, or you could be friendly and inviting, identify yourself, I'll tell you what I'm doing. You know, you could do that too. That might work. Just maybe that might work.
Thank you.
Let's get his name. Hilton 71.
If there be any error,
Take care, sir. Good day.
Can I have whose papers real quick? Them send in the basket.
All right, so we haven't been over here.
Yeah.
Cameras all over the building. What's the big deal with one more? Thank you, man. Appreciate you. See, we always get the love. We get some hate, but we always get some support too. That guy was just passing me. He tapped me on the arm, said, "I love your channel, man. I love it when I meet one of we the people who can appreciate that we're not doing anything illegal." That officer is, you know, making a big deal for no apparent reason. You know, I did hear that the DMV here in Dover, Delaware is better than, you know, what we have in New York anyway, for sure. Excuse me?
Spin it around.
Spin it around where?
Camera.
What do you mean?
Not this direction.
Oh, I'll put it in whatever direction I want. I'm not trying to get you though.
Weird shit at DMV.
What's weird?
Walking around with a camera, bro.
Oh, I'm just taking pictures of the DMV. Is that a problem?
Yeah, it's on me, it is, and my wife.
Well, you just made a big deal. You're making a scene, right?
My wife uncomfortable.
You just did it. You did it. You did it to yourself. You should have been quiet. No one would ever came talk to you. You're making your own life uncomfortable. Insane. Again, another pro tip. You don't want to be recorded. How about you don't make contact with the person that's recording? Wouldn't that make sense? So we have veteran ID card office over here. You're making my wife uncomfortable. Interesting. Interesting. I don't know how I'm making his wife uncomfortable. He just did that to himself. To his own wife. Oh, we've pretty much seen everything we need to see here. We're gonna be, I mean, I guess he could just follow me around. We're gonna be getting out of here. Elson, de-escalation and cordial and politeness go a long way, okay? Just so you know. Not everybody's your enemy. Let's get out of here, guys. A little bit of respect, my friend. A little bit of respect. Alright, guys, so we're just getting out of the Division of Motor Vehicles here in Dover, Delaware. So, we were confronted from the start by the Capitol Police Officer, Helson, I believe his name was. Very unprofessional. You know, he did not violate our rights in any way, and he did not, you know, give us any unlawful orders. But what I will say is, he definitely had a standoffish, you know, attitude towards me. very unprofessional, wouldn't identify himself, wasn't cordial, respectful with me. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's because he's trained to see a man with a camera promoting transparency and accountability as his adversary. I'm not his adversary. There's nothing wrong with being in law enforcement. I've done training at law enforcement officers. I've done ride-alongs. There's nothing wrong with being in law enforcement. What's wrong with law enforcement is the lack of accountability and the lack of professionalism that he just exhibited. You know, just ignore him, Instead of saying, hey, everything that he's doing is a constitutionally protected activity, he tells everybody that's freaking out, just ignore him, don't pay him any mind, just ignore him. You know, he could have explained the situation better. He could have said, listen, ma'am, listen, sir, he has a constitutional right to do what he's doing, and I support his constitutional right, as should you. As an American citizen, we all get to peacefully exercise our rights. You know, it just could have been handled a lot differently. You know, the guy who made a big deal about me recording his wife and his wife's feeling uncomfortable, nobody could care about you or your wife. You know, nobody cares until you start talking to the camera. You start telling me what to do. You start telling another man what to do. Spin that camera around. Well, now it just got spun towards you. You're not going to tell me what to do. I'm not trying to harass anyone. But if you're going to make yourself the star of the story, go ahead. The story writes itself. And you want to be a character in it? Go ahead, be a character in it. Now you're a character. So, I mean, it is what it is. Overall, not too bad here. But let me know what you think about this one in the comment section below. As always, stay safe. God bless. I'll see you in the next video. Long Island Audit. Peace.
All right, so that's it for today. Tomorrow we'll go back hard on the Hebrews. Wait. Before I log off, I got a response. Let me just see real fast. I still want to do it big tonight. It's like way too late. These are people with stupid logic, you know, just ridiculous. me see. All right. Okay. See, I'm done. I'm out of here. Peace, family. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.